Hey everyone, and welcome to the last part of the Witching Hour tutorial series. In this last part, we'll be covering the second drop and the outro, so it shouldn't be too long of a tutorial. So from last episode, we got up to just after this huge build-up in the middle, and there's this tiny little breakdown thing before it goes into the second drop just here, which sounds like this. Cool. So all that is, as you can see, the only bus that's really present here is the ambience one, and it's literally, again, these old remix stems, some waves here, and this vocal effect, which I don't actually recall putting in the track, in this part anyway. As well as that, we've got the tail from this sample here, which just continues throughout that bit. Like that. And apart from that, that's basically it. It's just ambience. That obviously leads into the next section here, where the tempo slows from 68 beats per minute to 56. And that's made obvious by the little triangle effect here. I mean the little triangle hits, which gradually just slow in tempo. So yeah, they were just reverbs with a high pass on the reverb, nothing complex whatsoever. Oh, by the way, if you don't know how to automate the tempo, you've just got to, I don't think there's a show. Oh yeah. So you just right click on the tempo up here and you just show automation. Then it'll bring up if it doesn't show up, click on the master channel here and choose mixer song tempo, and then you can adjust with automation what the tempo of the song is. Okay, cool. So the second drop is introduced by this pitch bendy synth thing. And again, me being lazy, I didn't actually make this, it was just a preset. So I got this from the electric synth thing in Ableton, and I believe it's under pianos and keys, and then here it is. So that's all it was. It says I automated the force, but I didn't actually really do anything. Yeah, so I just stereo delayed it here, saturated it a little bit, soft clip on, and then reverbed it, so you get that huge tail. A slight bit of EQing as well. Cool. So that's that, and that just continues throughout the rest of the track, as you can see. Accompanied by that, we have this new synth. I don't know if it's new actually, but it's playing a new harmony or chords. Again, this was in F sharp major, and again, this was also improvised just on the black keys, and then quantized, obviously. So, yeah, again, no idea what chord that is, but F sharp major, great. Also, we've got the sub here, just playing a simple bass line. And I believe it's automated here. Yeah, so I've got this auto pan which comes in on this third hit, so it just it wobbles in this at this rate, and then that repeats. No, it doesn't repeat at all. That's just a one-off. Yeah, not really sure what the desired effects there was. It was just, I think I was just going for a bit more of a trippy atmosphere for this second bit, as opposed to the more sort of melodic and flowing ideas in the first drop. So what else have we got? Let's see. So I think this is talking, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so I literally, this was just recorded off my Zoom. I was at a festival and I was just sat with a load of mates and I just turned my Zoom on. And automate the reverb here. So it's like this kind of reverby sweep, then it dies out again. And okay, right, so in terms of percussion, extremely basic. It was just a kick and a rim click here, accompanied by some acoustic drums. So if I just solo these two, hear how simple it is. And here the kick is chorused. Again, I think I was just being a bit weird and spontaneous. Decided to throw on a chorus and see what it sounded like, but yeah, so this bit's chorused here, as opposed to. Cool. And yeah, this was accompanied by the acoustic drums, so. With some slight panning there, just for a bit of stereo excitement. And yeah, so these are obviously the hi-hats here, and these are the ghost notes on the snares, on the snare. So the velocity's turned down quite a lot there, just to give the impression of those like snare ghost hits. Cool. I believe that's it for this first little phrase. Yeah, that seems to be it. Oh, there's something here. Oh, that's right, yeah. So we've got this kind of just cymbal roll. It's just reverbed and high passed a bit. And I've also got these chimes here, which are like really weirdly warped. I don't know if that's just me being lazy or whether it was a deliberate effect. Either way. So yeah, those enter right at the drop, and I believe I got those from but this is, yeah, here we go. So it's a sound folder from this called Sonatino Symphonic Orchestra, and I think it's just a free pack online. It comes with a load of cool percussion effects, I think. Somewhere in here, percussion, there we go. So yeah. So that's where I got that from. And yeah, that I think that is it for the first little phrase. So just have a listen through. Yep. There we go. Cool. And yep, so again it's the same concept, except the pitch bendy synth is just it plays a C sharp now, which pitches up to that must be pitches up to a D sharp. As well as that, we have just some more atmospheric effects. And the volume here is automated. So for this bit, these two cut out, as well as the synths actually, and the sub. No, the sub. Well, yeah, and the sub as well. But what comes in here is this resample of the track. I'll show you. Yeah, so basically I just resampled the drop, what I had so far, and then did some chopping and stuff, added a chorus, bit of EQing and some compression. Yeah, and then I had this second layer underneath, which just panned slightly left and right, and this one pitches down an octave, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that just acts as another little layer, adds to that trippy effect of this drop, and then the instruments come back in at bar 60 here. With the sub. No, not with the sub. And then obviously we've got that FM automation on the sub for this part. So that would be in here. There we go. Okay. That's really it for the first little section. The Vox kind of continue throughout the second bit here. As well as the drum beat, which is the same, and the chords and the sub, and then the only thing that's different are these little resampled chops here. Which just come in at the end of each bar, or half a bar even. Yeah, and they just add to that because there's a slight dissonance from the heavy chorus, so they add to the trippy effect. Yeah, there's not really an awful lot to say about this section. It was kind of thrown together fairly quickly. Yeah, the main concept of it was just, it was kind of like where the itinerary of the song kind of took over. Because to me it just sounded like this was during the night, this build up bit here, and then this bit here was sunrise, and then this was as the day was kind of progressing from dawn. And that's all I had in mind for this bit, really. I was trying to go for like a sort of Pink Floyd-y type vibe, as a lot of people have said. I was just with the slow beat and the pitch bendy synths. And honestly, in terms of the second drop, that's really it. There's nothing else to cover. There's a few things just leading into the outro here, but it's just ambience and stuff. So I've got another cymbal roll leading into that section. As well as this. Some more FM automation on the sub, and some more cuts here in the resampled bus. Okay, so for this bit, the majority of it again was like ambience or from these resamples, but the melodic content continues onwards from the drop, with these rising pitch bends here. With that one pitching down. And then the final one kind of resolves back to the root note. And that's layered with this cello thing. This is literally the only time it plays in the entire track. It was just to add a layer to that final note, just to emphasize it. Just a pitched cello, which is reverbed. Okay, so most of this section came from these resamples here. So a lot of this was this has previously been consolidated, but initially it was just loads of cuts, and I think there was some grain delay. But for this final audio file, I literally did some reverb automation, so the dry wet rises and falls a little bit, and then we've got these other layers here, just some more weird stereo effects. Okay, and then this new synth, this new melody enters here, and that's again just a sine wave, pitched up, 24 semitones, 2 sine waves I think, some reverb, some high passing, and a short decay, so the sound dies out relatively quickly. So without the reverb it'd sound like this. Yeah, and that just continues with this little arpeggio idea throughout this final section. In various forms, again, all still in F sharp major, and that just kind of mirrors this pitch bend thing here. As well as that, the vocals continue here just for another kind of atmospheric layer, along with the triangles, just to keep the rhythm. In terms of effects, it's just cymbal roll and the bar chimes again. I don't know why I did this. I'm probably just going to delete that now just for peace of mind. Yeah, and that just leads into the new section, obviously. Along with that, we've got some ambience. And the reason it all cuts out here is because there's like this little pause. I'll show you now. The pause is here because then I resampled from the first drop of the song, and then I changed the tempo. I warped the tempo so it'd match the end section here, giving this effect. So it's actually taken from the first bit, and without the reverb it'd sound like this, which is just obviously a slower version of what you heard at the start. So there's that, and obviously the synths continue onwards, and the resamples progressed as well. I think for this bit, because it's all being consolidated, I'm trying to remember how I did it. I think I chopped up the same little sample and then consolidated all those chops, and then what I did was, in the sample editor, I did some transposition automation here and just pitched it down like that to give that weird effect. Yep, and then that just fades out to this reverb tail, and that just extends out to the very end of the song. Yep, so I've covered the final notes, and obviously the ambience just continues onwards. Just to kind of like finalize the journey, and yeah, and then these two sounds just continue right to the end of the song, where the initial lead is brought back from the intro of the song. It's brought back at a slower tempo, and just panned left and right here. And the sole reason I did that was to literally just wrap the song up, I suppose, because it's quite a through composed journey. I thought it would be nice to round it off as opposed to leaving it open-ended like that. And yeah, the end of the song is just that reverb tail from this flute sound, and basically I think that's it. That's the entire song. I had a bit of trouble explaining this second part because it's very there's very little thought gone into it. I know people don't like me saying that, but it was literally just it was based off these resamples here, and I tried to fit the melody and the percussion and the drums all around these resamples, and the effect was quite cool in the end. I think most of the elements are pretty much just the same except playing different notes. This synth was actually taken here from this bit. I didn't realise because it had more of a sine tone to it. But I think the only change was that, yeah, this triangle oscillator here was automated, so it wasn't playing, so it was just a sine wave. Because with that, it would be like this. That's a difference in sound. And that's it. Yeah, if anyone has any questions because of how poorly I covered things, just leave a comment, and I'll get back to you on how I did it. For example, if you want the MIDI for any of the tracks, or any of the melodic parts or whatever, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to put a download link out for everyone. Yeah, there we go. Thanks very much for watching this series, and if people are digging this series, I'll probably make another one. I plan on doing one for Black Mango and also one for Soda Ritual, just because those two are probably my most, well, the tracks where every single sound you hear is made solely by me, instead of me, sampling different things like I have done in this one. In those two tracks, it was all completely homemade, so I'd like to cover and show you some weird techniques I used in those songs, if possible. Anyway, yeah, so thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.